Why are so many people frightened of the tarot? What is it about the tarot that scares people? It's a strange thing. Tarot has always had this weird kind of vibe around it, and I don't get it, I don't see it. My experience of tarot is joy and happiness, peace of mind, empowerment, expression of individuality, of who you are, what you want to be, helping people get a vision of who they, or where they can go in life and how they can change their life. What's scary about that? Nothing. So why is there so much fear? And to be honest with you, I think a lot of it seems to come from within the tarot community itself. I've seen tarot teachers say, this card is scary, this tarot deck is scary. If the teacher says that, what are the students going to think? Same thing. Look, these are tarot cards, you know, they're just bits of card with pictures on. What's scary is different pictures. Some are good, some look not so good. What's scary? Nothing. Where does the fear come from? It comes from within. It's your fears that within you that come out when you see a particular card. But then you can walk down the road and hear or see something and that can frighten you. It can be anything at all. All those things are triggers for the fears that you have within. Fears are experiences, emotions that you've learned. You didn't come up with it one day. You didn't invent it. You didn't think, today I'll be scared of this, or scared of that, or this person. No. You learnt it. Somebody told you, this thing is scary. In the old days of fortune telling, and it is a fortune telling technique of instilling fear into your clients. It's great Victorian times, it's great, you know, when you did some kind of fate or something, you get your grand who look vaguely fortune tellers to put on a scarf and a few earrings and all that kind of stuff and come out with some mumbo jumbo and there's a laugh. And they didn't know what they're doing and they probably scared people. Tarot readers do a reading and they see something about it. Oh my God, what's the client going to think? They're going to be scared too. For what good will it do? Only if you, I mean, why do you scare someone? You scare them because you want them to do something they wouldn't normally do. If it was a great thing, you wouldn't have to scare them. You say, oh, I'm inspired to do this. They say, yeah, great, I'm inspired too. If you do it from fear, it's because they wouldn't naturally do that. Gordon Brown, Tony Blair, George Bush, other world leaders, in quotes, world leaders, they scare you. If you don't do this, the terrorists are going to get you. It's like the bogeyman when you're a child. You couldn't get to sleep at night or you didn't want to eat your things. You know, if you don't eat your porridge, your bogeyman's going to get you or something like this. Every time you see someone expressing fear about you, it's for them to rob you, disempower you, take something away from you. In politics, they say, oh, terrorism is a scare, it's a threat. We'll take away your liberties, so you'll be safer. No, you're just taking away my liberties. I'm not scared. I've lived through bombs. I lived in Brighton with it. I raped, exploded bombs, all sorts of stuff. Didn't scare me. I knew they weren't after me. Why would they be? You know, they're after someone in the government or the military or the police or something. Not a fortune teller. They don't care about us. So, what does fear do? Fear robs you of your power. Fear puts you in a place where you're frightened to do something. Heart's pounding, the mouth goes dry, you can't think straight, everything you look at is a disaster. And if tarot teachers do this, you know, and it's something you've got to know. To do a tarot reading, if you don't have a calm, clear mind, you can't tell the future. You can't perceive things. You can't have that insight into life. Fear destroys it. The easiest way to lose your psychic and spiritual abilities is to have fear. And how much worse is that for you? Is if you're instilling that fear into your clients. You're effectively saying to your students, if you're a teacher and you're saying, oh, this deck's scary, or that card's scary, or oh, I don't like that card, or something like that, you are destroying their spirituality. Why are you doing that? Are you scared of them? Are you scared they'll do better than you? It's crazy. It really is crazy. So, if your teacher of tarot, or the person you looked up to in tarot, expresses fear about a spread, or fear about a card, or fear about an interpretation of a card, or a tarot deck, politely go somewhere else. See someone else, tell them, look, I don't do fear. Fear's not in my vocabulary. If that's the way you want to teach it, that's fine, but I don't want anything to do with it. There's a thing called integrity and spirituality about things. If you keep fear in tarot, you just have some kind of contrick basically going on, and it's all just theatre and acting. There's no substance, no style, nothing that's going to be of any good to you, me, or anyone else. And if you're expressing fears about a card or a tarot deck, where do those fears come from? They come from within you. They're not in the cards. The cards don't have fear. There isn't a tarot card called fear. Is there? Well, maybe there's some decks I don't know about, but perhaps they do. I certainly wouldn't use one, and I wouldn't be interested in a tarot deck that did that either. So let's get away from the whole concept and idea of fear. Let's go on to something that's spirituality, that empowers you. If there's something wrong that the tarot reading reflects in your life, then you should be empowered by your tarot reader to find ways of solving that problem, getting around it, or dealing with it in a much better way. Fear solves nothing. Fear is one of the worst things you can do. Tarot will never grow. Tarot will never evolve. Tarot will never become the things it really could be, as long as we're just giving people fear. So, please stop and let's do more powerful, energizing, empowering ways of living life, using the tarot cards to transform and change life. And until we do, we can never see tarot in that kind of light. So just with this passive thing, this will happen, that'll happen. That's tough. Deal with it. That ain't like that. I believe you can change anything. Anything is possible. Is it worth doing? That's another question. But no more fear, please. Let's just live in a lie and express our own spirituality and individuality and bring strength, honour and integrity to people.